We have a new angel.
Here. There we go, there we go. Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Fate visual novel. We're continuing from where we left off with Hime as the narrator again. So Hime, you have to endure narrator for a bit longer, I'm sorry.
I've got this.
But let us load. This time with the voices turned on slightly so we can tell who's who.
We have a new angel.
Poggers.
Haku, thank you for the resub.
So,
Yeah.
after breakfast, I clearly explained my immediate plans.
Was that loud enough, by the way, to hear the voice?
I heard
Hold
male
on.
voice.
I heard on my end.
I'm turning it up.
I can turn it up more. Hold on.
No, don't worry. I'm turning it up on my Discord.
Okay, okay.
What? You're going to school?
Yes. Do you have a problem with that, Archer?
No. No problems. It's just...
Archer hesitates, but does not object. He must have realized yesterday that I'm not the type of to take back my decisions. I can kind of tell without him saying so. Archer is sarcastic, but he is an honest side to him. So it seems he won't complain about something he's accepted. Yes, in other words, he's faithful in an awkward way. This is my conclusion, so no more of an intuition after watching Archer for all yesterday.
Rin, as you're my master now, you must always be cautious of other masters. School is a place where it's hard to remain prepared against sudden attacks.
That's not true. Look, Archer, even though I'm a master now, I don't intend to change my lifestyle. Besides, a battle between master is something that should be done out of the public view, right? So if we are at school, where there are lots of people, I don't think we'll see any kind of surprise attacks.
I see. If that's what you've decided, I can only obey. But I can guard you in spirit form, right? You don't intend for me to stay here while you go to school.
Of course not. Not just at school, but I will want you by my side wherever I go outside. It is the servant's role to protect the master, so I'll be counting on you.
I'm relieved to hear that. It's the duty of a knight to answer trust placed on us. I shall do my best to meet your expectations. But Rin, just hypothetically,
You said it right.
hypothetically, what would you do if there were an enemy in that safe place?
Hi, Rascuba. It's going good. How are you?
What are you suggesting? There might be a master at my school?
I have drank the water.
That's right. It's certainly hard for anyone who isn't a teacher or a student to get in. But wouldn't it be a problem if somebody already there is a master?
I don't think that's possible. In this town, there's only one family of magi other than the Tosaka. The other family has declined, and they don't even have a master.
How do you know there isn't a master?
Hey, it's only natural to investigate another family of magi in the same town. He isn't a master, and his successor doesn't have enough magical energy to become a master, so we can just ignore them.
I see. So there is another Magnus at the school you go to. But you say that Magnus doesn't have sufficient magical energy to become a master? Is that correct?
Exactly. So most masters will probably be coming from elsewhere. I don't think such people would come to the school.
Well, for now at least. But Rin, there are always exceptions. But if there is a Magnus at your school, then you don't know about.
Like I said, there aren't any. Magi are sensitive to other magi. If we were at the same school for a year, I should be able to sense another magi, no matter how well they hide it. I will state with confidence that there are only two magi at our school. One of them is me, and the other is only an apprentice who doesn't have enough power to become a master. Do you understand? Your caution is just needless worrying. It's completely impossible.
That's why it's only a hypothetical scenario. There's always another side to things. It's only natural for unexpected things to occur. I'm saying that when it does, do not blame me.
Archer smiles dryly. Just that action makes me want to take it out on him, but if I did, I would be late for school. That won't happen. A hypothetical is a hypothetical, because it won't happen. If it does, it just means my analysis was too shallow.
Alright, I'll remember that. Let's go then, Ren. It should take 30 minutes to get to school, so we won't make it unless we leave soon.
I'm surprised. Hypotheticals do happen.
Yes, I'm surprised as well. Whoa. It pays to argue over everything. It had an unexpected payoff.
As soon as we pass the school's main gate, we joke around like that. Around us are students heading to classrooms, and it's almost time for homeroom. In the crowds of people rushing into the school building, we stand dumbfounded. This isn't just an air instigating. Isn't there a boundary field set up already?
It's not complete, but the preparations seem to have already started. If he's doing this so openly, he must be a real big shot.
Or a complete amateur. A boundary filled with a boundary field that's less others notice the abnormally in only third class. To be first class, it has to be hidden until it's activated.
So, which do you think it is, Rin?
Who knows? I don't care if he's class or first class. I'm just going to beat him mercilessly for setting up such an indecent thing in my territory. I walk angrily through the schoolyard. As a magus, I'm not about to mince words, but I can't be satisfied until I properly punish the creator of this boundary field. After second period, while walking back from the music room, I see a first-year student walking unsteadily. The student is carrying some stack of papers, and it looks like she's having trouble. I'll help, Sakura.
Huh? Ah! Tosaka-senpai.
What? Handouts? World history? That'll be my homeroom teacher. That Kazuki, what's he thinking making a girl do this? Here, give me half of it.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Senpai.
It's fine. So, we're taking these to your classroom?
No, we're taking them to Kuzuki-sensei. He said he's recalling them because there was a misspelling.
I understand. Kuzuki's really stubborn. He's the guy who canceled the whole test just because there was one misspelling in it.
Huh? You mean the school's exam?
Right. I think it was last year's midterm. He came in while everyone was filling in their names and said in his usual tone that the midterm has a misspelling in it. He said that the question was not correct, so the midterm was to be cancelled and retaken at a later date. We were surprised, but so were the teachers, and they still talk about it today.
That's just like Kuzuki-sensei. He doesn't think teachers should make any mistakes.
He goes too far, though. You'll realize soon, too. Kazuki is as stubborn as a rock or a mountain.
Tosaka-senpai, you must really like Kuzuki-sensei. It's rare for you to talk about someone like that.
Really? Well, I do think he should be more flexible, but... I also think he's not bad this way. At our school, there's a teacher liked by all students, and a teacher feared by all students. The balance between the two works so well that I think Kuzuki-sensei is a good disciplinarian. He's the stick in the carrot and stick approach. Well, you'll get to see him more of him once you reach second year. He teaches ethics too. More importantly, Sakura, is it alright if I ask you something?
Huh? What is it, senpai?
It's about yesterday. You were talking to a strange foreigner.
Oh, you were watching, senpai?
That's by chance. So, what was it? Do you know him?
No, well, he was just a strange person, and he seemed to be lost. He asked me lots of things, but I couldn't make out what he was saying, so,
So she ran away. I see. Sorry. I was just a bit curious.
No, it's alright. Yours fine, senpai. I only have to hand these to him now.
Okay, see you later then. I pass the handouts back to Sakura. As I start to head back to my classroom, I paused. Sakura, how are things?
Yes, it's okay. I'm doing fine.
I see. Well, if Shinji does something again, tell me. He doesn't know when to stop, so it will only get worse if you don't say anything.
It's fine. You don't need to worry, senpai. Nissan has been kind recently.
If she says that with such a smile, I can't say anything else. I bid her goodbye once more and turn my back on the familiar junior. The day ends. Students leave the classroom and the building gets darker by the second. The sun will set soon. When the red sun sets and night falls, there should be no one left in the school. Let's begin, Archer. First, we need to check out the boundary field. Once we figure out what kind of boundary field it is, we'll decide whether to eliminate it or leave it. I adjust my invisible partner. Archer must understand as I sense him nodding. A boundary field is something that protects its caster.
Oh, so I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that, history. Yeah, right there. That's the last thing you missed. Sorry.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. You call it a geographical magic in which one knits a line of magic across a land to change the interior. Infinite different effects are possible with a boundary field. There are all sorts of boundary fields, from one that conceal the area from people's eyes to one that limit the use of magic within them. The most aggressive of all are those that oppress life forms within them. The boundary field laid out over our school is of that kind. It is not yet complete, but once it is, everyone in the school should fall unconscious. But something like this won't affect me. After all, a boundary field is something targeted not at me, but at the place I am in. Such an indirect magical energy intervention has no effect on the Magi, who have magical energy throughout their bodies. A weak current floating through the air will only be repelled by a strong current like myself. So this boundary field has a different intention. I don't know what kind of person set up this boundary field, but his intention is not to defeat a master. It's hard to believe, but his target is everyone in the school. There's only one reason to do something like that. Unbelievably, the sky is. I searched the school building and emerged onto the rooftop to finish. It's dark outside. It's 8 o'clock now, way past the school closing time, which is 6. The only persons still in the school are me and Archer. So this makes sense. Well, it looks like it's this in the origin. So this makes 7. Well, it looks like this is the origin. An H-stroke mark is openly drawn on the rooftop.
Oh, what the heck?
Whoa.
That's weird. Just read the line that just came up, I guess.
Yeah. An H-stroke mark is
I think it's this purplish red
yeah,
character.
this purplish red. Yeah, yeah.
You're fine.
This purplish red character, only visible to Magi, is something I have never seen before, engraved with something unknown. Damn it! This isn't something I can handle. The person who set up this boundary field didn't think about anything. He didn't think, but the boundary field is bound with amazing skill.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
I can temporarily drain magical energy from this boundary field, but I cannot eliminate the boundary field itself. The boundary field can be reactivated just by having the caster put more magical energy into it. Archer says nothing. He's been quiet ever since we came out onto the rooftop, probably because he too recognizes the power of this boundary field. This boundary field doesn't just drain one's strength.
I hear boundary field one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
I know. Once activated, it will literally dissolve all the people within it.
Oh my god.
There are boundary fields that drain physical and mental strength from people within them.
That was a good stream, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
But the boundary field laid out over this school is on a completely different level. This is a soul eater. It is a blood fort that dissolves people within it and claims the souls that seep out.
Yum.
Hmm.
Since ancient times, souls have had it hard to handle. Even though they're believed to exist that are necessary for magic, only one magus has been ever understood the soul.
Hello, Madara. How you doing?
Souls are only things to be investigated, or things to be moved into containers. It's incomprehensible, not merely to suck them out, but also to collect them in a single place. It's because of Magus has no use for them, even if one were to collect this unconvertible energy. So if there's a reason, it must be. Archer, are you servants this kind of creature? I asked coldly.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Dish is AFK.
Oh. Okay, no worries. I will, we'll wait for Dish. How's your day going, everyone? Oh wait, can someone cover me? Does someone want to take a word for Dish? Because I think he might be a while, he said.
It's either me or you, I guess.
Do you want to do it, Haku?
I don't care.
Alright, go for it.
Oh, alright. It is as you expected or suspect. I can't even talk.
You
I
got
wasn't
this.
ready to read.
You got this.
It is as you suspect. I told you we are basically spirits. Therefore, our meals consist of souls. The mystical constitutes. As you substance on a meat, right?
Substit, I think. I'm not sure.
Subsist?
As you subsist on meat, we subsist on souls and minds.
And yes, Mother, we're playing the vanilla version. No H stuff, obviously.
Our basic abilities do not change from such nourishment, but we do become tougher. In other words, our magical energy capacity increases. Yes.
Oh no, that's
Oh, that's
yeah.
her. That's her. That's her. Yeah. I just.
You're right. Yes. To strengthen your servant, you must attack people indiscriminately. So the magical energy the master provides isn't enough?
That'd be you again, Haku.
Yeah.
You're okay.
It's not that, but it doesn't hurt to have more. In war, if you lack strength, you make up for it with supplies, right? It's a basic tactic for a master to steal energy from the people around them. In that regard, this boundary field is very efficient.
Archer is saying if I want to win, I should kill people and steal their strength. How simple. I already knew that. That's why I think I know which path I'm going to choose. That annoys me. Don't ever mention it again, Archer. I say so while staring at the mark. For some reason, Archer sounds happy as he confidently answers.
I feel the same way. I do not intend to do so either.
Well, let's erase this. It's meaningless, and it should hinder them a bit. I approach the mark and extend my left arm. The magic crest on my left arm is the Book of Magic passed down the Tosaka family. I switch on my sense. I push magical energy into a magic crest, read the part that explains the elimination of boundary fields, and now all I have to do is activate it. Abzug, Bendian Nyung, Mitsu Send. Eliminate surgical extraction. Second section. I touch the surface with my left hand and let my magical energy flow out. This will at least wash the color off this mark, but...
Oh, I think this is Haku too.
What? What are you? Are you going
got
to erase it? What a waste.
Suddenly, as if to stop the erasure of the boundary field, a voice echoes over. I quickly stand up and turn around.
Yo, the music.
It do be hitting different.
It's Haku.
It's Haku.
Haku and Haku.
Ah, shit.
On top of the water tower. In the sky 10 meters away, a guy's looking down at me. Deep ultramarine that melts into the night. His grin is wild and the bestial smell carries on the wind. The stare of the beast is a cool one. The man in blue looks at me like an old friend, even in this situation. Is this your doing?
No. Petty tricks are a Magi's job. we only fight as we're commanded to. Isn't that right, you over there?
Casual, but his voice is filled with a murderous intent. This guy can see Archer. As I thought, a servant!
That's right. Since you can tell, I can consider you as my enemy, right?
My spine freezes. A normal light tone of voice. And it's colder than anything I heard. It is scary enough to make me vomit. I can't tell how I should move or what my best course is. But my reason is telling me absolutely not to fight this man right here.
Wow, that's pretty good. You seem like you don't know anything, but you grasp the important points. Man, I messed up. I shouldn't have called out to you just for fun.
A man raises his arm. It happens in an instant. The arm that held nothing until now.
Let's go.
Now holds a red weapon, 2 meters long. I jump to the side without thinking. I can't spare the time to consider that. I can't jump full force while on the rooftop. I just jump with full force to the side, as if trying to smash the fence.
Can we get some rat jams in chat?
A whirlwind brushes past my hair. Barely made it. He rushed me in the blink of an eye and mercilessly slashed at the space I just occupied.
You got some good legs, young lady.
The whirlwind pursues me. There are no escapes.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The fence is. I can barely read
Yeah,
it.
The fence is
The
behind
fence
me.
me to my side.
No, you won't make it. I don't.
Would make
Sure.
Alright.
Good luck with that one. I think it's Hime.
as it's clean. My response is fast. I run the magic crest on my left arm and assemble the magic in a single measure. It lands my body and adjusts gravity. In that instant, my body becomes light as a feather, and I leap.
That'd be Archer.
Ren!
I know! Let me handle it! I jump over the fence and fall from the rooftop. The wind and pressure against my body. 15 meters to the ground, 1.7 seconds until landing. No, that's too slow. He'll catch up. Let's Atlas! Archer, take care of the landing! I let Archer take the impact of the landing and start to run as soon as my feet touch the ground. First, I have to change the location. We have to go somewhere we can move around freely, not a small place like the rooftop. We have to move to a large field with no obstacles to play to Archer's and my strengths. I run from the rooftop to the school ground in less than 7 seconds. It's more than 100 meters. My speed is so fast that normal people would see only a blur. But that's...
Man, those are really good legs. It'd be a waste to kill you here.
It's just another legs, I guess.
meaningless against a servant. Archer! At the moment I step back, Archer steps in front, taking form. A cloudy night. In Archer's hand is a short sword that reflects the weak moonlight.
Wow.
That man crooks his mouth.
That's good. That's the way to go. I don't mind people who are quick on the uptake.
A large whirlwind. That's the weapon swung at me on the rooftop. The blood red crimson lance that tried to mercilessly slaughter me.
That's you, Hime.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I
okay.
couldn't hear.
You're fine.
Servant Lancer.
That's right. And your servant is Saber. Or maybe not? Who the hell are you?
There's no sign of his previous casual demeanor. In response to Lancer, full of murderous intent, Archer remains silent. The distance between the two is about 5 meters. The weapon in Lancer's hand is about 2 meters. For that man with a bestial smell, I feel like the remaining 3 meters are meaningless.
You're not the type to engage in one-on-one combat. So you must be Archer.
Archer doesn't respond to the sneering voice either. Confronting each other strangely are red and blue. The two counterfeit colored knights are already watching for each other's clinching blows.
Alright. I don't like it. Now we've met. We'll have to fight. Come on. Take out your bow, Archer. I have some manners, so I'll at least wait for that.
Archer does not respond. There's nothing to say to an enemy he must defeat. That steel back of his seems to declare so. That makes me realize. I'm being stupid. Archer is just waiting for my word, my command. Archer. I talk to his back without approaching him. I won't help you. Show me your powers here.
Heh.
Was that a laugh? He grins as if to answer my words, and the Red Knight dashes forward. Whirling gust of wind. Short sword in hand, the red bullet launches.
Is it him?
That's you, Haku.
You.
Oh, you fool.
What meets him is a blue spear thrust. If the dashing archer is in raging wind, the responding spearhead is a divine wind. The sword is swung, a swing to deflect the thrust. Archer parries the thrust of the high-speed lance with his short sword. The one in red stops. The enemy did not permit Archer's rush. The enemy doesn't even let him get within 2 meters, the range of a spear. For a long weapon, distance is always preferred. As Lancer has a weapon almost 2 meters long, he only needs to attack when the enemy comes into his range. Thrusting at an approaching enemy is easier than moving out yourself. But even so, Lancer closes the distance himself and doesn't even allow Archer to move forward.
Idiot. A mere bowman challenging a close-range fight?
His temper is like a burning fire. Lancer closes in with each blow with no thought of stopping. With a long weapon, it's suicidal to close in to an enemy. The spearman's tactic is to use their long range to defeat the enemy and win the battle. So, as Lancer is just advancing unchecked, he doesn't have a chance of winning.
Is that Dish?
And it's you again, Hako, I believe. I don't think
Really?
Archer's talking at all.
Well, because I can't hear the.
Yeah, it's because the music's so loud.
Well, no, I usually can hear his voice, but all right, no way.
That's just by the book. Lancer's lance shows no vulnerabilities as it strikes for the throat, shoulders, forehead, and heart. Thrusts so fast, even the after images are blurred. As each strike of his lance repels, rebuffs, and pushes back Archer, any one of his thrusts could be called a final blow. But even as a bowman, Archer is a servant. No ordinary attack can be a final blow.
Ha!
Having repelled the lance aimed for his forehead, Archer closes in with speed superior to Lancer's lance. Based on its shape, you might think that the main attack of a lance is the thrust, but the basic strength of a lance is its swings. This is because a wide swing uses its long range does not allow the enemy to dodge it by stepping back. A partial retreat does not allow escape, and an attempt to counterattack will only result in a slashed stomach. But simply going forward will end up in a smashed rib from a long shaft of the lance. Archer and Lancer are similarly built. On top of that, it's hard for Archer with no heavy armor to step in the range of a lance swung like a whirlwind. But thrusts are a different story. A blazing fast thrust certain to strike you is certainly scary. But as long as the attack targets are a point, there are many ways to avoid it once you see it. As Archer did just then, hitting the shaft of the approaching lance to redirect it slightly creates an opening. It must be because he underestimated a bowman. The advantage of a long weapon is in the length and freedom of its range. Once Lancer has discarded these advantages himself, his defeat is... The one in red stops. A nightmare-like time is reversing. The thrust is faster than the previous ones.
Ugh.
Archer tries to parry the blow, but he gets flicked away with his weapon. There are no openings in Lancer's attack. No, not just that. The thrusts increase in speed and power without limit, and it becomes a final blow even for a servant. We were the ones that underestimated him. For that servant, for Lancer's weapon, there are no general rules about Lancers. Who could ever parry continuous attacks without even space to breathe between them? Archer manages to retreat a bit and parries, and as a result, the distance between them opens a little. That distance. Lancer uses that distance as a runaway to launch an even more powerful attack. The raging continuous attack is only a repetition of that. But the blows themselves are godlike. 10 blows already. No, it must actually be many times more than that. The heavy rain of lance pours with yet more strength, trying to skewer Archer to death. It's not fast, but it's just skill. It thrusts like a waterfall with no change in speed. What can Archer do as he's now on the offensive? With such a short sword, he can only parry the lance. He has no way to close on Lancer, and he continues to retreat. A vacuum of steel unfolds. Support! I had to back Archer up, but my throat won't respond. My magic has poor aim. Unless Archer gets away from Lancer, I will hit him with my magic as well. Such an opening would only increase Lancer's advantage. And besides, frankly, I'm captivated. This is a battle between servants. This is the Holy Grail War itself, where we use heroic spirits, the highest rank of a familiar, whom we will never otherwise obtain. Servants. Familiars of different classes that obey the Seven Masters. These are the highest ranked familiars, called heroic spirits, that the Holy Grail summons. So it's misleading to call them familiars. Originally, familiars were just beings that ran errands for magus. Imagine, perhaps, a cat in boots, or a cute white bird, or a black dog that doesn't obey its master, or something like that. Familiars that a mere magus can summon are of that level. Familiars are just familiars. They are only mascots that run errands for their masters, so they cannot be beings stronger than their masters. But servants are different. They are the most powerful beings. Even for sorcerers, of which there are only 5 in this world, it would probably be impossible to form a contract with them. It's not that the summoning is hard, or even that the ability of a servant surpasses that of a magus. Servants themselves are beings above magic. I'll make it clear. Servants are heroes from the past. Myth, legend, fable, history. Fiction or not, the superhuman beings who gain concrete existence in folklore are what we call heroes. A hero that becomes eternal in people's minds is no longer human after their death, and is promoted to another form of existence. Humans who can bring about miracles, save people, and achieve great deeds are called heroes even after their death. After being so called, they are promoted to heroic spirits after their death and become guardians of humanity. It doesn't matter whether these people existed in reality or only in stories. It is people's minds that create a hero. People's wishes that this is how things should be, given them form and set up as real. Authenticity does not matter. They can have form as long as they have fame, as legend and people have faith. The ultimate ideal humans have created, the greatest human people have created. These are the heroes, the heroic spirits. And of course, since they are beyond human, they cannot be controlled by humans. A magus usually borrows their power only to mimic them. They can't summon the heroic spirits themselves. But the Holy Grail made that impossibility into reality. It summons the heroic spirits beyond human control and turns it into a familiar obedient to their master. That nonsense is proof that the Holy Grail is almighty. With the passing of years ignored, the heroic spirits are summoned. The most recent from 100 years ago, the oldest from the ancient days. The 7 heroic spirits obey each of the 7 masters, protect them, and eliminate the masters of the enemy. Heroes from every age and country are revived into the present day to kill one another for supremacy. That is why this ritual is called the Holy Grail War. But it seems the Holy Grail has its limits too. Even the Holy Grail cannot indiscriminately call onto the spirits-like beings. Just as a form invented by humans is required for the imaginary 6th element, known as the devil, to take form, the heroic spirits also need a form to live in this world. That form is their temporary name, and the way they exist in this world. The Holy Grail has furnished classes so that the heroic spirits may take form more easily, and it only summons the heroic spirits that match these classes. It's like a passport to the present, as if it sets up a role as a familiar in advance. By allowing the summoned heroic spirit to take on the role, it helps the spirit to take the form. If there are 7 masters chosen by the Holy Grail, there are also 7 masters obeying those there are also 7 servants obeying those masters. There are 7 furnished classes. Knight of the Sword, Saber. Knight of the Lance, Lancer. Knight of the Bow, Archer. Mounted Soldier, Rider. Magus, Caster. Silent Killer, Assassin. Mad Warrior, Berserker. Only the heroic spirits with attributes of these classes are summoned to the present to obey their master and become a servant. That is the servant system. The summoning in contact with heroic spirit beyond human control to win the miracle beyond human grasp. The ultimate competition held only on this ground, and the only Holy Grail War. A loud crash. The short sword that deflected Lancer's lance flies from Archer's hand. This is Lancer's technique. A straight thrust that turns into a sweep at Archer's wrist. It was a blow Archer could not avoid, even had he seen it coming. There is no effective way of parrying a lance with a sword. A strong rebuff only results in a stronger counterattack, and the weak rebuff does not create any openings. The important aspect of the battle between the sword and the lance lies in defeating the enemy when he is at the wrong range.
Idiot.
There's no hesitation in Lancer. His movements to push Archer back stops. He must intend to end the match in a single instant. The stares of the firmly placed Lancer and the swordless Archer clash. In that instant, the lance is thrust just like a flash of light. It can't even be seen. Forehead, neck, and heart. 3 shots are launched, and you won a fatal blow. But Flash is too fast to see, is repelled by a shining blade. In Archer's hand is the short sword again. A sword like before, a Chinese sword like a hatchet. But the biggest difference is
Crap. 2 swords?
a pair of swords. In his hands are matched swords, mirror images of each other.
A bowman trying to be a swordsman.
Lancer's lance flies. As if to finish Archer off, the lance moves faster and faster. Archer defends the burning spirit. His hawk-like eyes say that he will not retreat anymore. No, that he will only advance from now on. The clashing sounds are like a well-orchestrated music. 2 steels clanging against each other. The sparkling clashes increase in rhythm without pause. The battle of the 2 is like a vacuum. It sucks in the air around them, and it seems like anything approaching them would be cut into pieces. In reality, it only lasts an instant. But for me, looking on, it seems to take an infinitely long time. Lancer tries not to let Archer near him, while Archer advances using his sword as a shield. Over 100 blows have been thrown, and Archer loses a sword every time. But it's only for a moment, as Archer has a sword in his hand in the next instant, forcing Lancer back a little each time. Lancer finally admits his carelessness. That even though he doesn't know who is before him, he will be the loser if he dismisses him as a mere bowman. The distance widens, probably to recover. Lancer puts a large distance between them. His speed is extraordinary. Archer's charge was out of this world, but it was still slow compared to Lancer. The movement of his retreat had panther-like speed and agility.
27. I disarmed you that many times, yet you still have more.
Lancer mutters in irritation.
No. Oh, that's her.
No, it's more like confusion. I feel the same way. According to Father, a servant carries only one weapon. Their weapon is filled with magical energy, so it's not something that can be created one after another, like Archer was just doing. Servants are heroes which supplement their spirits after death, equaling the Holy Spirits. To put it another way, they are like devils or angels.
Angels.
They are powerful familiars on their own, but their most powerful weapon is their proof of heroism, a magical item called their noble phantasm. A noble phantasm is a weapon or armor that the servant used when they were a hero and is treated as a last resort. The noble phantasm is the one and only weapon for a servant. That is because the noble phantasm is a ultimate weapon without equal. The lance that Lancer is using will show its power as a noble phantasm when Lancer deems it necessary. A noble phantasm is an impressive weapon by itself, but its true ability is to release all its power using its true name. Heroes' weapons which rule over all others, and which have killed dragons and gods.
Shira, no.
Servants activate their noble phantasms using their magical energy. It's much like magic. Servants recreate the destructions in legend using their noble phantasm as a catalyst. Noble phantasms are never disposable. The swords that Archer brought out must be excellent, but they cannot be his noble phantasm. He is the servant Archer. So the noble phantasm he conceals must be a bow.
What's wrong, Lancer? Is it not... It's not like you to just stand there and watch. Where's the energy you just had now?
You're talking crap, you cheater.
Lancer's irritation is understandable. Even though Lancer fought as a spearman, Archer fended him off as a swordsman. Which means Archer hasn't shown any of his abilities yet. So it's natural for Lancer to feel ghastly.
Alright then, I'll ask you. What hero are you? I never heard of a bowman using two swords.
On the other hand, it's easy to tell who you are. I said that only the fastest heroes are chosen as a lancer, but you surpass even that. There aren't 3 lances in this world at your level, and on top of that, there is only one that has such beast-like agility.
Oh, well said, Archer.
At that instant, his vast murderous intent makes me forget to breathe. Lancer's arms move. This is different from before. It stands free for contempt. The spearhead is lowered as if to strike the ground, and only his stare pierces Archer.
In that case, you shall face my finishing blow.
No one stop you. You're an enemy. I will have to defeat you sooner or later.
Lancer's body sinks down. At the same time, the chill like thorns fill the schoolyard. The air freezes. Not a metaphor, it literally freezes. All of the mana in the air is frozen. The only person allowed to breathe here is the warrior called Lancer. The lance in Lancer's hands is unmistakably a demonic one. And now it is waiting to take its true form in the moment it strikes. Crap! He'll be beaten. I don't know what kind of noble phantasm that is, but Archer will be beaten. It's implausible since it's the first time I've felt such an intuition, but there's no doubt about it. Archer will die when that lance is thrust. It is determined. Literally, Lancer's lance is the embodiment of an inescapable death. Archer will be defeated. Archer will die when Lancer pierces his heart. And yet, even though I know what's going to happen, I can't even help him. Because if I move even a finger, that will trigger the attack. So if anything can stop this battle and stop Archer's defeat, it would be...
You again, Haku?
It is me?
Yeah.
Who's there?
It would be the chance appearance of a stranger we have all overlooked. Huh? The ghastly air coming from Lancer disappears. The sound of fleeing footsteps. That figure is definitely wearing a school uniform. A student? Someone was still here?
It seems so. He did save our lives, though.
Archer says calmly. Well, we were certainly saved, but... My mistake. I didn't notice my surroundings because I was too preoccupied with Lancer. Hey, Archer, how are you doing?
Can't you see? I'm resting since I'm free now.
You can't do that. What about Lancer?
He went after that guy. He saw us, so Lancer probably went to eliminate him.
For an instant, my thoughts stop. Follow him, Archer! I'll catch up right away! Archer goes after Lancer immediately. Damn, how stupid of me. I curse my carelessness. It's the rule of Magi to eliminate any witnesses. Which is why, if one doesn't want to do that, one just has to allow no witnesses. I've done that until now. So why do I have to make a mistake today of all days? A night where even the moonlight is obscured. A student is lying on the cold hallway floor, and Archer is standing still. He is staring silently at the student. A smell hits my nose. The blood on the floor makes clear that it's the smell of death. Follow him, Archer. Lancer will probably go back to his master. This won't be worth it unless we at least find out who his master looks like. Archer goes after Lancer. I'm left alone with the student lying on the floor. I can't look straight at him. But I must. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. Ever since I was a child. Even since I became the successor of the Tosaka, I've been preparing for something like this. There's no good or evil for Magi. I've always told myself that this road has only my blood and the blood of others, so... One shot from Lancer's lance, huh? You can't be saved with your heart pierced. I don't know how long it's been since Lancers killed him. Was he lucky or unlucky to be pierced to the heart? I guess Lancer's attack isn't a simple external wound, as the flow of blood from the rupture isn't too severe. It's not too severe, but it's all over when the brain doesn't get any more blood. No, basically, if his heart were pierced, he should have died instantly. But it's amazing he isn't dead yet. Yes. He's still breathing faintly, as if to give his last scream. But that will only last a few more seconds. He can't heal his own wounds, and I don't have enough power to save him either. I have to look at his face. I should at least do that. I try to touch the head. Facing the ground, I realize my fingertips won't move. They're trembling. I wonder why. I'm used to such things. I've had to make these kinds of choices many times before. I've lost many things due to my mistakes and my selfishness. That's why I'm ready for a day like this. So why am I so angry at myself? Sorry, I'll see you off, at least. I control my trembling fingers and my failing knees with my will, and look at the face of the student. A huge smacking sound. It really feels like I've been hit on the head with a hammer. Stop it. Why does it have to be you? I grit my teeth, not to suppress my trembling. I'm really pissed off. Why is it him? Why did it have to be him? I'm not mad at Lancer for killing a witness quickly and perfectly, just as a servant should do. I'm just angry at him for staying late at this place on this day.
Hi Jaeger, how you doing?
Sakura's face flashes in my mind. She will definitely cry. And I recall one red tinted day after school a long time ago.
Happy you're doing good. I like your emote.
A distant sunset. Someone always running alone. And a boring girl staring at that from far away. And before me, the corpse of someone who happened to get involved.
Thank you for that dish. Episode dominance.
I came.
There is a way.
Thank you for coming, Bob.
I might fail and lose my last resort in the process, but there's still a way. No, I'll lose my last resort whether I succeed or fail, so the result for me won't change. It's a mistake. The fact of his death is already determined. It's my fault for not noticing the things around me. It's his fault for unluckily staying late. So I won't need to go that far. Yes, because this is what my father, who gave me nothing else, left for me. A powerful chunk of magical energy, a reliable last resort to win through this battle. A precious, precious thing just for me. So what, idiot? I shake the feeling off and kneel in front of the one who will become a corpse in another second. Man, I've done it. The pens in my hand becomes lighter. My father's memento is drained almost to emptiness and falls onto what used to be a dying body. It can't be helped. Yes, it can't be helped. I didn't have the power or skills to revive someone with a damaged heart, damaged blood vessels, and on the verge of brain death on top of that. That's why I had to make up for my lack of skill with this powerful object. It's lucky he was still breathing. If he was completely dead, no amount of magical energy could have revived him. But since he was still alive, I just did what I could and ended up saving his life. It would have been awful if I failed, but since I succeeded, I guess it's alright. Yeah, I feel fulfilled to be honest, and this wasn't such a bad experience. I'm just bluffing. Let's go. What's done is done. I have to head back before he wakes up. Yeah, there's no need for me to stay here any longer. Archer should be following Lancer, so I should go home by myself.
Lancer just comes back and just kills him again.
What's up, motherfucker?
On my way back, I remember. I left the pendant at school. Just a pendant now that the magical energy has been drained out of. Oh well. I have no more use for that pendant. Sure, it might have been a bit of magical energy left in it, but surely less than 10 joules I have. What my father intended to leave for me was enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War. So now, without magical energy, that thing is meaningless. I enter the house without saying anything and sit on the sofa. Archer isn't back yet. I sigh and listen to the clock for a few minutes. I have to switch gears. What am I doing? Daydreaming after a battle like that? I jump up and brew some tea. There are so many things to think about. Most importantly, the servants. I have just witnessed a battle between servants I had previously only understood intellectually. Lancer, huh? I panicked when he almost used his noble phantasm, but I would have found out his identity if he had used it. The easiest way to beat an enemy servant is to learn their identity. Ignoring for the moment the idiot who doesn't even know his own identity, the biggest weak point of a servant is their true name. Discovering the servant's true name, in other words, figuring out their identity, should let you take a guess at what kind of noble phantasm they might have. It goes without saying, but since servants are heroic spirits, they have a legend associated with them. If you figure out their legend, and you should be able to find out most of their abilities. Servants are called by their class names because they want to hide their true names. Because the most famous a hero is, the more people know about their weapons and their weaknesses. A heroic spirit that becomes a servant never gives out their true identity. The only ones that know the servants' identities are their masters. That's even a tactic understanding that the masters hide their servants' identities while trying to discover the identities of the others. This is the 5th Holy Grail War. The qualities of the servants are determined by the ranks of the summoned heroic spirits. It goes without saying that the more famous heroes and the heroes are better with weapons are stronger. And it's difficult to summon such heroic spirits. To summon a heroic spirit, one must have a connection with them, as such a weapon they use during their lives. Even the Magic Association has a few of such things. So generally, one will summon a heroic spirit that suits them like I did. A servant's strength is determined by the rank of the heroic spirit. But it's not that simple, as even the most powerful heroic spirits may have a hard time depending on the class they are assigned to. That is because of the special abilities assigned to each class, the possibility of the weak defeating the strong. The 7 classes each have a different additional ability, and one even has a chance of defeating an opponent of higher rank depending on the ability's affinity. To take an example, an infamous hero has defeated a great hero 4 times in the past. As far as I know, the most powerful servant is Saber. In all the previous 4 wars, Saber has made it to the final fight. It is said that the 3 classes Saber, Lancer, and Archer have strong magic resistance. To put it simply, magic is pretty much useless against them. It's because they are fighters who fought through the Age of Myths, when magics were used widely. Magics that Magi use now would probably dissipate by touching them. Anyways, that's why these 3 classes are considered the basics and the best. Another that's worthy of mention is the Servant Berserker. The heroic spirit summoned into the class loses their sanity. Just as the name implies, they become mad, a mad warrior puppet of their master. The benefit from this is a strengthening of their power, far exceeding the powers they had when alive. However, the more powerful a servant becomes, the greater the burden it imposes on the master. In the past, masters who summoned Berserker couldn't control their rampaging servants and destroyed themselves by running out of magical energy. No exceptions. The winners and losers of the Holy Grail War are largely determined by the abilities of the servants. Well, I expect there are ways to win it by the master's efforts, but it's basically a fight between the servants. That is why a master should be very careful when summoning a servant. I silently consider the plans we should make from now on. The clock, fixed already, strikes 11 when I do so, and Archer comes home. Welcome back! How did it go?
I'm sorry, I failed. He must be one of the Kosh's masters. At the very least, Lancer's master is not on this side of town.
As I expected. Lancer was alone, and it seems his master isn't the type to show up for battles personally. I see. Well, I guess it won't be easy. Yes, there's no way everything will go as I might hope. So it can't be helped. Let's consider what happened tonight as a tuition fee for the lessons learned.
You seem down, Master. Where are your high spirits? Don't tell me you got scared by that one fight. If you so ordered, I am ready to go battle Lancer again, right now.
Archer protests silently that we should do so. I see. I guess I look depressed. Of course not. I'm staying in only because I don't want to do anything pointless.
Anything pointless?
Well, all the masters aren't present yet, right? Tonight couldn't be helped, but I wouldn't start fighting before we get the signal. My father told me this is one of the rules of the Holy Grail War.
I see, so your father was also a master.
Archer nods, understanding. Then Archer makes a troubled face and starts to ponder something. What? Do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, there is something I forgot to ask. Rin, you've been raised since you were small to be a master, and you accepted that, right? So you've expected to be a master since the beginning.
Of course! Well, there certainly are masters that are suddenly appointed, but I'm different. From the Tosaka family, the Holy Grail had been our earnest desire for many generations.
I thought so. So you must have a purpose. I forgot to ask about that. I cannot swear my sword to you unless I know my master's wish. So Ren, what is your wish?
Wish? I don't have one.
What?
Oh, Archer's making a funny face.
That can't be true. The Holy Grail is the Almighty Grail that grants wishes. Becoming a master means obtaining the Holy Grail. So how can you say you have no wish to grant?
Archer's asking with a serious expression. Oh, I see. The master's wish for after obtaining the Holy Grail isn't irrelevant to the servant. But it's strange. Father said that servants have wishes as well, but that is only their wish. I don't think Archer should be concerned because I don't have any wishes.
Alright, if you don't have a specific wish, why not wish for something ambiguous? Like ruling the world.
Why? The world is already mine. Hey now, Archer. The world is just another word for the things you value around you, right? There's something I've had since I was born. If you tell me to rule such a world, I already rule it. Archer looks at me with a troubled expression. I'm amazed. The guy really is hard-headed.
Ridiculous. The Holy Grail is a power to grant wishes, a power to obtain the world. Are you saying you're seeking it, yet you have no wish?
But ruling the world would be so troublesome, and there's no point in wishing for something so pointless. You seem to lack imagination.
I don't understand. For what then do you fight?
I fight because there's a battle, Archer, and I'll take whatever I can get. I don't know about this Holy Grail thing, but I can just see it when I find something I want, right? As a human, there are infinite things I might want in life.
So you're saying...
Yes, I'm fighting to win, Archer. Archer's shoulders slump. Maybe he's disappointed in my opinions, but it seems he's finally relaxed.
I give up. You're certainly worthy a master of me. For me.
Ugh. I find it hard to deal with that kind of comment, so I wish he stopped saying such things. Huh? A servant has no right to choose their master. But I'll ask for the heck of it. Why am I worthy master for you?
It goes without saying. You're unmistakably the strongest master. No one would be better master to serve than you.
Oh, thanks. It doesn't sound like flattery when you say it. I look away because I'm embarrassed. I find it hard to deal with Archer because he speaks frankly, like this even though he's so cynical. But well, I'm honestly happy that he trusts me. I trust Archer and he trusts me. I don't think this sense of solidarity is a bad thing.
Well then, let's take a break. Even if the seventh master is going to appear, it won't be right now. Wait a minute. Rin, what happened to that jewel of yours?
You mean my pendant? Oh, I forgot it. It's out of power, so there's no use for it, right?
That's true, but well, if you say so.
Yes, it's a memento of my father, but it's not like it's my only memory of him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's no good. You don't have to be that strong, Rin.
So saying, Archer takes out the pendant I left at school. Oh! You went and picked it up for me.
Don't forget it again. It only looks right on you, Rin.
As if he's embarrassed, Archer looks away as he hands me the pendant.
Did I ship it?
I see. Thanks. I accept it. To be honest, I don't know if I should be embarrassed or cool with it. The pendant is as it was. As expected, there's no magical energy left in it. Empty of magical energy, it's just as an expensive but ordinary jewel, but it doesn't hold any power. But as Archer would put it, even if there's no power left in this pendant, it still has meaning as something my father specifically left for me. Then, maybe I can just laugh off the fact that I helped that guy by sacrificing my trump card. Hey, wait a sec. Something clicks in my head. I wasn't thinking straight back then because of my regret, but thinking about it calmly, I missed something. He saw us, so he'll be dangerous unless we adjust his memory. Basically, Lancer prioritized eliminating the witness over his battle with us. Lancer's thinking probably matches his master's. So, if such a master finds out the guy they killed didn't die, what would he do? He wouldn't let that guy keep on living. I get up from my sofa. It's been 3 hours since then. I might not make it, but after all I did, I have to make it on time. I run through the night. Fortunately, I know where his house is. No, I didn't look it up, but it happens that an acquaintance of mine goes there a lot, though I've never been there myself.
Honestly, you're just making unwanted troubles.
Archer has no interest in cooperating. He was against saving the guy when he was dying, and he's against me going to help him right now. It's midnight. Under the cloudy night sky, we reach the Japanese-styled house. There's no sign of anyone in this house on the edge of the residential district. There aren't many houses around it, and there's no one to come help if something happens here. My breath is white. A wind starts to pick up. It must be quite strong as the clouds start to drift past. The supposedly warm wind of Fuyuki sends chills down my spine, making me tremble. Even if Fuyuki City is considered warm, it's still cold on the hill. The air around us here is frozen. I strain my ears in the cold atmosphere. In the frozen feeling, I feel a small sense of an enemy. He's here, the servant from before. I bite my lip. His presence is perceptible on the other side of this wall. Lancer is in the house already, and about to kill the same guy again, who has just come home without a clue as to what happened. I'll just have to jump in and beat him. I'll worry about what comes next when it happens. Just as I'm about to command Archer to go in, a bright light like a fallen sun comes from within the house. The presence is small, eclipsed by another presence. The wave of power of the servant Lancer is consumed by an even larger wave. The instantaneous explosion of either gives the spiritual being a body summoned to overpower Lancer. No way! I can only mutter. But it's true. To prove it, Lancer jumps over the wall and leaps away as if fleeing from this place. Hey, Archer! Is this another one of your hypothetical scenarios?
I don't know, but this makes 7. All the masters are here now, Rin.
Archer answers calmly. I've lost my normal judgment. That's why I didn't even consider the obvious event that would follow. The wind blows strongly. Clouds cover the sky like an umbrella. The unlit suburbs are enclosed by darkness. And the servant jumps over the wall, coming down like a demonic bird. Archer has reacted already. But I couldn't react. That was my mistake. The battle ended with a small opening, not lasting even a second. It might have been only a second for me, but for that servant, it was an opening that couldn't be ignored. A sword rushed for me. Ah! Archer! Archer pushes me aside and the servant slashes him. It happens in an instant. Archer, who handled Lancer's fury of attacks beautifully, has been taken down with one blow. Archer! Disappear! But I make it in time this time. Just as the enemy servant is about to cut off Archer's head with her blade, I forcibly remove him. A pain in my right hand. It must have been an excessive command, so a command spell has disappeared from my hand. Now there's only one remaining. But this is for the best. Rather than having Archer die, I would prefer to lose 1 or 2 command spells. Giving no consideration to Archer's appearance, the servant attacks me. Don't underestimate me! I take from my pocket a topaz with a wind spell stored in it. Then I launch all the magical energy it contains at her, without processing it. This thing, which can blow away a house without a trace, is a bundle of wind spells I've stocked up over time. It's one of the 10 jewels I've been putting my magical energy into for 17 years without rest. I'm using all my magical energy stored in it, so even if I can't defeat her, it should at least slow her down a bit. No, not even that. It did nothing. The swirl of wind that instantly tears apart anything caught within it disappears like a magic trick the instant it touches the servant. Such strong magic resistance. Mere magical energy from a magus cannot hurt the servant. So this is it. She can't be hurt by magic, and I've lost the protection of Archer, so I can't stop the servant. I barely managed to avoid one blow, but that's all. I looked up at the night sky. And it is a figure of cold-hearted death who is looking down on me as I lay miserably on the ground.
Hero.
It's you. What? The wind blows. In between the dark clouds and the spiral sky, the moon shines. The falling moon light and the beautiful face. This is the servant that drove off Lancer, defeated my archer in one strike, and annulled my magic with no trouble.
That magic was splendid, Magus.
The girl's voice is... Yes, this voice is like a nightmare right now. It's the only natural. The more beautiful my enemy is, the more of a nightmare it is, as I cannot believe the difference in our strength.
But this is your end, Master of Archer.
The point of the sword shines brilliantly. On the verge of death, I understand. With just one look, without proof. This is the card I wanted. The one said to be the strongest of all servants, the hero of the sword. I look up at the moon, accepting my death. There's no time for me to flee or plead for my life. I will die here, and Tosaka Rin's Holy Grail War will end on the 3rd day. There is only disgrace and regret, and I will probably vanish, bearing a grudge against my enemy. But still, I don't feel anything. something must really be wrong with me. Even though I'm going to be killed in an instant, I adore her again. That's right. If you ask for regrets, that's it. But I guess it can't be helped. Because she's the most powerful servant. Because her figure is just so heartless, so infinitely valiant, and so beautiful.
Oh, that's loud as hell. Oh god, my ears.
Now we get to the intro.
Turn that down for the stream. I'm not gonna be able to hear you guys on Discord for a while until after this is done. I don't know why that's so loud. Epic gamer moment. Although I thought they would play the other opening. I'm gonna see if the other opening's in here. I'm gonna go to the gallery. Is there a gallery? There is. Do they have the? They have the better opening. Is this the better opening? I can't tell what these are.
Just play all three of them.
I don't know how to play it. It's not liking me. I don't know. Movie. It doesn't want to work. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. There's supposed to be a cooler opening, but that's okay. Okay. Reload or start? Start. I'll turn it back for you guys. And now I have to narrate, so Hime, you get a little rest.
I'm already eating again.
I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death nor to life. I have withstood pain to create many weapons, yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. When I came to, I was in a burning field. I guess there was a big fire. The familiar town had turned to ashes, and it looked like the remains of a battlefield from a movie. But that didn't last long either. The fire had died down by the time the sun rose. The tall wall of flame had shortened, and most of the buildings had fallen. It felt strange, being the only thing in the place that still had its original form. I was the only one still alive around here. I must have been really lucky, or my house was built in a very lucky spot. I don't know which it was, but the point is, I was the only one left alive. I felt that since I survived, I should live on. I started walking aimlessly, because I thought it would be dangerous just to stay there. I wasn't really concerned about getting burned up like the people lying around me. Probably because, over and above not wanting to be like them, I had a stronger feeling in my mind. But still, I had no hope. It was already a wonder why I was still alive, so I couldn't expect to be saved. I won't survive. Whatever happens, I won't be able to escape from this red world. It was such an absolute hell that even a small child could understand it. and I collapsed. Was it because there was no air? Was it because no function was left in my body? Anyway, I collapsed and stared up at the clouded sky. Everything around me was burned up, and I could see many shriveled people. The dark clouds loomed overhead, telling me it would rain soon. That's good. The fire will be put out once it rains. In the end, I sighed deeply and looked up at the sky. I say to myself that it hurts. I say so on behalf of all the people who couldn't even say so. That was 10 years ago. After that, I was miraculously saved. My body survived. But I think all the other things about me burned up and were reduced to ashes. If you take away a child's parents, a home, and all such things, there's nothing left for him. That's why there was only my body. I think it's a simple story. In other words, in order to let my body live, my heart died. I'm dreaming. Huh? I squint my eyes at the white light. So bright, I think. It was just light entering my eyes when I woke up, but I'm not used to it. I probably didn't even understand what the bright light meant. Huh? When my eyes focus, I'm surprised. I'm lying on an unfamiliar bed in an unfamiliar room. I'm surprised, but the room is just so white and clean that I feel safe. Where am I? I look around. The room is big and there are many beds. A person is in each bed, and everyone seems to be hurt. But nothing feels ill in this room. Everyone who's hurt is someone who was saved. I relax and let my eyes wander. Outside the window, the bright blue sky was unbelievably beautiful. After a few days, I finally understood. I could clearly remember what had happened in the past few days. Even so, I was no different from a newborn baby. Not just a metaphor, it was close to the truth. Anyway, it was a terrible fire. I had been saved from it, was in the hospital with my body wrapped in bandages, and my parents were gone. I didn't get the situation, but I vaguely understood that I was alone. I think I understood quickly. Well, there was nothing but children in similar situations around me, so all I could do was absorb the fact. And after that, that man came, right when I was beginning to worry that it would happen next to me, or to me next. He came on the day my bandages were taken off, and I was able to eat without help. Wrinkled coat and uncombed hair. The man, a bit younger than the doctor, felt more like a big brother than a father. That'd be you, Haku. That's Kiritsugu.
Hello. You must be Shirokun.
A smile that seemed to melt into the white sunlight. I think it was a suspicious voice, but a very kind voice.
I will ask you directly. Which would you prefer? To go to an orphanage? To be adopted by this man you've never seen before?
That man was saying he could adopt me. When I asked him if he was a relative of mine, he just said he was a stranger. He looked like an unreliable guy with no future. But it made no difference, as I knew nothing about either one, him or the orphanage. So I decided to go with him.
I see. That's good. Get ready quickly then. You should get used to your new place as fast as you can.
The guy quickly started packing my stuff. His packing wasn't very good, even in the eyes of a child. Then, after making a big mess...
Oh, I forgot to mention something important. I have to tell you one thing before you come with me. Is that okay?
He turns to me lightheartedly and says, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah. To start off with, I'm a sorcerer.
He says it in a serious, exaggerated tone. It happened in an instant. Come to think of it now, I was really a child back then. I automatically believed those words. Wow, you're awesome! I guess I said it with bright eyes.
Classy thinks I'm awesome?
Unreliable guy with no future, but you're awesome. Since that time, I became his child.
You're
Actually-
my child.
Actually, I don't remember what I said back then, but my father would always talk about that day. He would remember and retell that story again and again. So for my father, Emiya Kuritsugu, that might have been the happiest day of his life. So, I guess it was strange for my father to tell me that he was a sorcerer. But I was strange as well for admiring that. And thus, I became an adopted son, and my last name became Emiya. Emiya Shiro. When I said my name, I was really proud of having the same last name as Kuritsugu. I'm dreaming. A story from my childhood. It was when I finally convinced my father to make me his student, so it must have been about 8 years ago. When I was old enough to stay at home by myself, Kuritsugu started to leave the house on a regular basis. He would say in his normal tone that he would travel the world, and actually act on these words. That's how it was after that. It was normal for him to leave the house empty for a month. He sometimes wouldn't come home for half a year. That Emiya house is a big Japanese-style house, and Kuritsugu and I were the only ones living there. Scream but ASMR. Ah. Is that good, Dax? How you doing? I was perplexed in this house at times, and it was too big for a child. But still, I liked my life here. Emiya Kuritsugu would come home from his journeys and tell me lots of stories like a child. It was beautiful, thank you. And the child who shared his last name would be at home, waiting for those stories. I was always alone in the house, but that loneliness would all fade with the stories he brought back. The father who was always chasing his dreams, like a kid. His attitude was just outstanding, but he always seemed dazzling to me. Dazzling to me. I can't read today. That might be why I wanted to be like him someday. Well, on top of that, looking at my ever-dreaming father, I felt I should become reliable myself. Fate stay night, one day.
We started the timeline, boys.
I hear a sound. I hear a heavy, old, rusty sound as the door opens. Hi, Barrier Blue. I'm gonna drink water. Light enters the dark shed. We are playing Fate Stay Night, yes. My mind waking up.
Senpai? Are you awake?
Feels the cold air and the approaching footsteps. Good morning, Sakura.
Yes. Good morning, Senpai.
Sakura smiles and nods as if accustomed to the situation.
Senpai, it's morning already. You have some more time, but Fujimon
I
said he will get
came.
mad if you stay asleep here.
Oh, you're right. Thanks for coming to wake me up.
It's no problem at all. You're always up so early. I can only come and wake you up like this occasionally.
Sakura seems more upbeat than usual today, as if she's happy about something. Really? I think you wake me up quite often. Though, Fujini always hits me to wake me up, so I'd rather have you wake me up. Well, I'll try harder next time. I answer her with a sleepy head. I don't know what I'm saying with my mind not fully awake.
Alright, but I'm happier when you don't try.
I'm sorry, Barry. I hope your work is going good if you're at work right now. Sakura is giggling. Yeah, I guess my head is still dozing and I said something weird. Give me a second. I'll wake up. The cold outdoor air helps in situations like this. The chill works well to beat the sleepiness out of my head. In front of me is Mato Sakura, my junior at school. This place is a shed behind my house, and the time is 6 o'clock.
Senpai?
Yeah, I'm awake now. Sorry. Guess I did it again. I have to help you cook breakfast, too.
It's fine. You were up late last night. Again, right? So you should take time in the morning. I'll get breakfast ready.
Yeah, we're close to 1K, Barry. And hi, Star, how you doing? Sakura says so in a happy tone. It's unusual. Sakura really seems to be in a good mood this morning. I can't let you do that. I'll get up right now. So let's go to the kitchen together. Alright, I'm all set. Let's go, Sakura.
Senpai?
Huh? What? Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing, but I think you should change before you go back to the house.
Oh. That said, I looked down at myself. I fell asleep while I was working, so I'm still wearing my overalls. Being in my work clothes, they're pretty dirty. I can't imagine what Fujini would say to me if I went in the house like this. I guess I'm not awake yet. I'm a bit out of it this morning.
That could be. So you rest here for a bit and I'll take care of breakfast. And you know, if you keep this place a mess, Fujimura since he'll get mad at you.
You're right. I'll go after I get changed. You go on ahead.
Yes, I'll be waiting, Senpai.
Sakura leaves. Well, I have to change into my school uniform and clear up this mess. The shed is built on the edge of our yard, and just as it seems, it's a warehouse we put all our junk in. But for me, it's a place of treasures. I've enjoyed messing with things since I was a kid. Father didn't allow me to go into the shed, but I always sneaked in here. As a result, it became my base. For me, Emiya Shiro, I guess you could call this place my real room. The big Emiya household doesn't suit me, and I can only relax in a space full of junk. Besides, it's a waste. Even if it's junk, you can still use it. Most of these things in here are appliances that can't be used anymore. Did I bring all the junk in here because I like the place? Or did I come to like it because of all the junk? Anyway, since I was always sneaking in here, it became my hobby to fix the broken things. It's not like I get attached to things. I think it just annoys me not to use things that you can still be used. And just like that, I was fixing up the stove all last night. I guess I'll finish it tomorrow. Seems I don't have enough concentration seeing how I fell asleep halfway. I shake off the feeling of disappointment in myself. I gather up the parts of the stove and put them on the shelf full of things waiting to be fixed. There are no spaces on this shelf full of things awaiting repair. An old VCR awaits after the stove. I guess I'll ignore the fact that Fujini broke both of them. Alright. I changed into my uniform. This place is like my room, and it holds changes of clothes along with other things I need. It also has lots of blueprints and junk, the result of failures from when I do my training. There's also some kind of old design inscribed on the floor, like an altar or something. Well, let's get today started. Clapping my hands together in prayer to the shed, I head for the house. I emerge from the shed. The Emiya house is a Japanese-style house on the outskirts of town. My father wasn't much of a respected person in town, but he somehow still had this huge house. That on its own is a mystery, but it also seems he didn't have any relatives in Japan. That's why the house became mine and no one else's when my father died. Though, to be honest, I don't have that kind of management ability. Old Man Fujimura is in charge of the complicated things like inheritance and property taxes. Old Man Fujimura is the big landlord in this neighborhood. According to Father, the old man's like a Yakuza boss. Of course, this isn't just prejudice. He's not like a Yakuza boss. He is a Yakuza boss. Well, that's a problem in itself, but I prefer to ignore it. It's certainly true that he's energetic and scary, but he's actually not a bad person. He really helps me, and he pays me a lot when I tune up the motorcycle he likes to ride. Anyway, that's why I'm the only one living in this big house. It's been 5 years since Father died. The days have passed quickly. I sigh thinking about how much I've grown in those 5 days. Or 5 years. I've trained every day to be like Kiritsugu, but it's not really easy in reality. It's natural because I had no talent to begin with, but what can be said about having no improvement in all of 5 years? To sum up the present in one sentence, my goal is so far away that I'm not even at the starting line yet. No, I guess it won't do any good to rush. For now, I have to do what I can. Well then, right now I should. I'll go help Sakura. That's right, I have to go help Sakura. I feel bad for letting my junior do all the work, and for Sakura coming here so early in the morning. But I'm too late. It seems breakfast has already been made. I can smell the elegant smell of breakfast befitting Sakura. Sakura has finished cooking and is opening the cupboards. I can see all she has left to do is set the table. I'm sorry. I should at least get the dishes ready, so you go and sit down.
Huh? Oh, you're here already, Senpai?
Not already. We're usually eating by 10 past 6, so I certainly slept in.
I don't think so. You're not in any clubs, so this is still early for you.
Clubs have nothing to do with this. When you bring clubs into it, the problem is that you come here when you have morning practice to go to.
No. I'm doing this because I want to. So please don't worry about my club.
Yeah, you always say that. That's why I wake up early. Clubs or not, it's room for me to sleep in if you're going to be here. For me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here. And sleeping in is making Sakura prepare for breakfast on her own, like today. Though this has only been a habit for about 1.5 years or so. Anyways, you take a rest. We only have to set the tables, so at least let me do that. I stand next to Sakura and take out the dishes. Sakura is stubborn at times, and in situations like this, she won't rest unless she's forced to.
Oh, then I'll help too. I'll load the plates, and you can take them out.
No, I'm saying I'll do it all myself.
That won't do. You're the head of the household, so you should just sit contently in the morning.
Sit contentedly? Head of a household who leaves you to do the work by yourself is a failure. It's okay, so go to the living room.
That's right. Please be a failure. This is your payment for letting me eat good food all the time. So if it's possible, I'd like for you to rest.
Hey, we're going 50-50 on the groceries, so you shouldn't worry about it. I should be the one thanking you. Since you've started coming here, our meals have improved.
Oh, I knew it. You don't get it, do you, Senpai? That's not why the meals here are good.
Huh? What do you mean that's not why?
No, it's nothing. But please take responsibility because... Oh.
It did it on its own, sorry.
Because I can't eat a pleasant meal anywhere else anymore.
Hi Nezumi, how you doing? Idiot, don't say such weird things. What if Fujini hears that? She doesn't understand jokes.
You're right. It would be a big problem if Fujimura-sensei overheard that.
Right. So don't say such weird stuff.
Yes, I won't. I won't say anything, so I can help you, right, Senpai?
Sakura looks up at me naturally and calmly. Fine. Do what you want. If you want to help so much, go right ahead.
Yes, I'll do as I please.
Jeez. You really don't listen to anything I tell you anymore, do you, Sakura?
That's true. Maybe I'm becoming more like Fujimura-sensei.
Speaking softly, Sakura reaches up for the cupboard. Her silky hair and smooth skin catch my eye. How can I put this? It's troubling. She must be maturing as she seems really feminine these days. Her casual movements and her figure are so beautiful, I instinctively look away.
Senpai? Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry. It's nothing. Honestly, why am I feeling tense around my friend's sister? After all, Sakura's not like that. She's a good underclassman, and a junior I need to take care of. First of all, the relationship between me and Mato Sakura is that of a senpai and a junior. She's the sister of a close friend of mine, but since she's a grade below me, we weren't that close. It all changed a year and a half ago into this cooperative kind of relationship. Sakura came to cook when I was injured, and after that, I think we just ended up like this. I think we intended to do it until my injury healed, but some trivial thing came up to make her stay with it. Anyways, Sakura is a good cook, and perfect at cleaning and doing the laundry. It's a big help to have her around here in the mornings, but it's been a bit troubling recently. The problem is not in Sakura, but me. Frankly, Sakura is beautiful. She's one of the best looking first years, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys who want to date her. On top of that, she's been growing in certain places recently, and some of her casual gestures have started to catch my eye. That's what I meant by a small problem. Maybe I'm just feeling guilty about being attracted to my friend's sister. Usually I'm fine, but when I'm caught off guard like just now, I blush. Does this make me an unsuitable senpai? It's harem time, baby. Breakfast is placed on the table. A perfect breakfast consisting of chicken salad, cooked salmon, spinach, radish, and carrot and miso soup. And yam soup. Itadakimasu?
Itadakimasu.
Sakura and I bow and start our meal quietly. The sounds of our chopsticks echo. Sakura isn't the talkative type, and I'm not versatile enough to talk while eating. Naturally, mealtimes are quiet. Usually it's louder, but today the loud person is... She must have been watching spy movies last night, as she's eyeing us while hiding behind a newspaper.
Fujimura-sensei, don't you think you should read the newspaper during meal? Or I don't think you should... Wait. Don't you think you should read the newspaper during meals?
Fujini ignores Sakura's question. She's acting weird, but Fujini always acts in suspicious ways during breakfast. Sakura must have been used to it, as she continues to eat with no particular care. Sakura prefers to make Western foods. She learned to cook Japanese food after she started coming here to help. Fujini and I prefer Japanese, so Sakura learned to make Japanese food for our breakfast. Now she's so good at that she almost surpassed me, her teacher. The salmon is especially good, as it's cooked to perfection. Her miso soup is tasty, and she's shown some capacity even for making yam soup by grinding yams. Actually, I think this is the first time she's made it. Sorry, Sakura, could you pass me the soy sauce?
There you... Oh wait, senpai. Your soy sauce is empty.
Fujini will do it then. Can you get it?
May I, Fujimura-sensei?
Fujini nods. Her newspaper trembles.
There you go. Are you going to use it on the yam soup?
Yeah, you usually put soy sauce on yam soup, right? I put the soy sauce on the white yam soup. After stirring it, I put it on the rice and take a bite. The stickiness of the yam and the taste of the soy sauce. Ugh, this is terrible! This is oyster sauce! I almost throw it back up. And that's Anne.
Oh, sorry.
Fujini throws her newspaper away.
How's that? It was my plan to switch the labels earlier this morning.
The female spy throws her arms up to show her happiness. What are you thinking? You're always like this even though you'll be turning 25 this year.
Didn't it teach you a lesson for what you did yesterday? It's divine justice for picking on me with everyone else.
Divine justice doesn't come from people. I thought you were calm, but this is what you were thinking about?
That's right, that's why I have to go and start grading the exams now. Yep, I should hurry up.
Fujini sits back down and finishes her breakfast quickly.
Thank you, breakfast was lovely as always, Sakura-chan.
Thank you, Sensei.
I'm going on ahead then. I'll get mad if you two are late.
And she runs off. There's something wrong with a world in which that thing is a teacher.
Senpai?
Sorry about that. Fujini didn't really take the time to enjoy your breakfast.
No, it's not that. Did you do something to her yesterday? It's a bit too much for Fujimura-sensei to play with food.
Well, yeah. I accidentally called her by her nickname.
I guess it can't be helped in that case. You didn't apologize to her, did you, Senpai?
Sorry. I forgot since it happens all the time.
You mustn't. Fujimura-sensei doesn't like you calling her so, Senpai. You made her cry again, didn't you?
I made her run away too. Yesterday's English lesson was a self-study because of it. And I was awarded with a student honor written on a notepaper, but I threw it away.
Jeez, it was all your fault then.
Fujini is like a big sister for Sakura, so she's basically on Fujini's side. That's good in its own way, but I wish she'd consider my situation where I have to deal with Fujini 24/7. Fujini was originally an acquaintance of Father's, and she's been coming to the house a lot since I was adopted. She started to show up even more after Father died, and she's now almost a dependent, eating breakfast and dinner here. No. Maybe she's why I was able to make it on my own even after my father died. Fujini, Sakura, and I are now the residents of the Emiya household. But I'm the only one who knows what my father, I'm the only one that knows my father was a magus. That said, the magi must hide their identities. That's why I've been hiding the fact I'm learning magic ever since, because I became my father's student. I say I'm learning, but I can't even cast a single magical spell properly. With this kind of a skill, it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide it or not. But because it was how my father wanted things, I trained secretly since then. I finished breakfast and prepared for school. I cleaned the dishes with Sakura while listening to the news on TV. Sakura is staring at the TV screen. Over the screen runs an exaggerated teletype reading, "Gas leak accidents continue." It seems there was a big accident in the neighboring town of Shinoto. It happened in a building in the business district. It seemed a whole floor of people ran out of oxygen and fell unconscious. They've called it a gas leak, but this kind of accident is happening often recently. Are you worried about the news, Sakura?
No, not really. I just thought it's near. Senpai, your workplace is in the Shinto area, right?
Yeah, but it's not really a big place. I don't think an accident like that would happen there. But it's not a risk I can completely ignore. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and on top of that, it hurts to think that hundreds of people are suffering. It's said that the accidents are happening often because of a defective construction work during the rapid development of Shinto. Whether that's true or not, I certainly don't want any more victims. It is dangerous. We'll have to be careful here too.
Oh, don't worry, Senpai. I check the gas twice every time.
Sakura boasts with her pride. No, that's not the point. Yeah, I've thought so before, but Sakura is a bit off too.
Senpai, did you lock the back door?
I did. I bolted it. Is there a problem?
Not at all. Then I'll lock the front door now. When will you be home today, Senpai?
I think I'll be a bit late. What about you, Sakura?
I'll be back at the usual time. I'll probably be here earlier, so I'll start getting dinner ready.
Yeah, that'll help. I'll try to come home early too. We lock the gate. Sakura and Fujini also have keys to my house, but the rule is that the last person out locks up. Let's go. You won't make it to morning practice unless we hurry.
Yes, let's hurry then, Senpai.
We walk down to town together. Passing the long wall and going downhill, we reach the residential district. My house is on the top of a hill, far away from the center of town. Going down the hill takes us to the residential district, and beyond that... we reach the crossroads at the center of this town. From here, there are many roads, a big bridge leading to the neighboring city, a hill road that leads to a Rudo temple, the residential district on the other side of town, the shopping district Sakura and I always use, and the school we're headed to right now. We head for the school without stopping elsewhere. We don't talk much as we walk up the hill. Since it's still 7 o'clock, there aren't many others on the road. Other than us, all you can see are a few others heading to their morning practices. Well, see ya. Have fun at your club. I part with Sakura on the school gate, at the school gate like usual. Sakura's in the archery club, so we have to part here in the mornings. But today, Sakura doesn't go. Sakura? Are you not feeling well?
No, that's not it. But, would you like to come to the dojo?
No, I have no business there anyways. Is that Essie or how do you Issei? Issei asked for me, so I have to go to the student council room today.
I see. Sorry for troubling you then.
Sakura bows.
I'll be going now. Please look forward to dinner tonight.
Sakura runs off like she's ashamed of something. I wonder what that was all about. Issei, you here?
bit late today, Emu.
You must have been studying, as Issei looks up from the paper he's reading. Just you, Issei? Where are the others? Shouldn't they be here by now as well?
No, unfortunately, our members are very busy like business like. They have their set work hours and they don't want to come in early or stay late.
That's why the student council president is doing the routine duties himself, huh? I guess this place has its own problems.
No, it's kind of the trouble I like. You don't need to pity me.
Huh? No, I wasn't pitying you or anything.
I'm not happy about that either. But I'll pretend I didn't hear it. It still means that you care.
Issei, who was organizing the papers he was reading, is the big boss of the student council. He's the guy trying his best to reform this lax student council, and he's been a friend of mine since first year. His full name is Ryodu Issei. Despite his old-fashioned name, he has elegant features and he's super popular with the girls. He's also the student council president. So you'd think he'd take it like a duck to water, but yeesh.
Hot tea is certainly a good way to start a morning.
He's just sipping tea like this, so he's not that firm. As you can see, Issei has a plain personality. It's easily misunderstood, but he doesn't involve himself in love affairs, nor engage in normal student recreations. It's because he's the successor of Ryodu Temple up in the mountains. He's fine with that idea, so there's a good chance he'll shave his head when he graduates. So, what am I doing today?
Well, I'd like to let you sit down and take a rest first, but I guess we don't have the time. I'll explain as we go, so bring your usual tools and follow me. Frankly, our school's budget is completely imbalanced.
I know. The athletic clubs are favored, so other clubs don't get much, right?
Right. As a result, members of the other clubs are in trouble. I'm working hard to make the budget go to them, but I'm having trouble because it's not clear where the money is going. In particular, there is no solution for a shortage of heaters during winter.
Let's see. Oh, can you hand me the torque screwdriver? The biggest one? And the conductive wire too. Yeah, I should be able to fix this.
Conductive wire. Oh, is this it? Sorry, I don't know exactly. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're right. So, what was that about the shortage of heaters? Are there other broken ones?
Yes, in the second AV room and the art club. The petitions requesting new stoves are multiplying.
But there's not enough budget to meet the demand, huh? As I thought, it's just getting old. Good thing it's not broken on the inside.
You think it can be fixed, Emilia?
Yep. In cases like this, old things are nice because they're easy to understand. It's just a shortened connection, so it should last the whole year if we replace that.
I see. Good job, Emiya. I'm always so pleased when you're reliable.
You're wording it really, weirdly. Oh, I'll be finished soon, so could you wait outside for a bit?
Alright. I'll be out of your way.
Issei leaves the room quietly. It seems he assumes that I'm going to do something, delicate. Well, it is delicate, but... I place my hand on the old electric heater. Usually, even if you're used to fixing things, it's hard to figure out what's going wrong by just looking at it. So the fact that I figured out my own means what I'm doing is not ordinary. I block off my vision and look inside the heater with my sense of touch. In that moment, an image appears in my head. There are 2 places where the wire is about to break. The pipe should last a bit longer. Insulation tape should be enough for the power cord. Good. I can fix this with the tools I have with me. If the pipe were broken, it couldn't be fixed by an amateur. If that had been the case, I would have had to strengthen it in a very unamateurish way. But in this case, just looking at it will suffice. That is the magic Emiya Shiro learned from Kiritsugu. Alright, let's begin. I take the cover off and start to work. I already know where it's broken, so the rest is easy. Man, this is the only thing I'm any good at. That's right. Emiya Shiro has no talent for magic. Though it doesn't make up for it, I think I'm quite skilled at visualizing structures like I just did now. In fact, when I first figured out a structure and reproduced it quickly, my father looked surprised and said, "What a useless ability." I guess my strong point isn't a useful ability. According to my father, it's already a waste of effort to perceive the structure with my eyes. For a real magus, there's no need to understand every corner of a structure like I just did. They say the battle of the magus comes in reading the center, the core of things instantaneously, and changing it faster than anything else. That's why reading the structure is a wasted effort. Even if you do understand the structure, all you can do is determine where magical energy could be more easily transmitted. So all in all, it turns out that my strong point is just fixing things like this. I don't have to open them up or look for damage. If I can quickly search for broken parts and have the skills to repair them, most things can be fixed. Though, that's only the case for simple things that can be fixed with amateur knowledge. Done. On to the next one. I pack away the conducting wire that I used, and go out into the hallway with screwdriver and wrench in hand. Issei, the repairs are done. But in the hallway is someone else apart from Issei. A girl. I'm a bit surprised. The person talking to Issei is Tosaka Rin from Class 2A. She's a lady who lives in a big mansion on top of the hill, a perfect honor student. Good-looking, smart, athletic, and faultless. She's intelligent, well-mannered, and modest about her looks. People say she's the ideal woman. So it hardly needs to be said that the guys at my school treat her like an idol. Though in Tosaka's case, she's perfect. She's so perfect that she's considered unreachable. It's commonly believed that only teachers and guys like Issei can even talk to her. Well, to be honest, I'm a guy too. So I'm one of Tosaka Rin's admirers. Tosaka looks at us as if she's in a bad mood. It seems to be true that she and Issei don't get along.
Sorry, Emiya. I'm the one who asked for help, but it seems like you're doing all the work. forgive me.
Wow. Issei's an amazing man. Talking like that, ignoring Tosaka. Don't worry about it. So, where next? There's not much time left.
Go work your cringe 9 to 5. I'll be gaming.
Sign Yan Art, thank you for the raid. Oh my goodness. Let me give you a shout out. Sorry, Dash. Go ahead.
You're good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the AV room is next.
Tuki.
It seems it's been working badly for a while, but now it finally died.
I beat you, Bob. Haha. How you doing? How was your stream? You're playing Resident Evil 4. Oh, how was that? Welcome, Raiders. My name is Classy VT. I am a fallen angel VTuber here on the line on Twitch. We're reading through a visual novel called Fates Tonight. You may have heard of it. It's all our first time reading through it, and yeah, hope you all enjoy it. It can't be fixed even if it's dead. It'd be quicker to just buy a new one.
True, but it'd help if you could take a look at it. It might be dead to my eyes, but only faking it yours.
I'm happy you had fun. I see. Well, let's take a look. There's only about 30 minutes left until homeroom. I'll have to hurry if I'm going to fix it. I start for the AV room with Isai, but it's impolite to ignore her completely when we've met like this. I turn back to Tosaka, who's standing in a daze. You're up early, Tosaka. I make an honest comment, then follow Isai. Face day night, yeah.
You barely made it. Thank you, Emiya. I caused you trouble again. That would be a failure as a friend if I made you late doing things for me.
Don't worry about it. It's no big deal for me to be late. Though, I guess it would be for you. I guess it would be for you to be. I guess it would be for you to be.
Indeed. I'm glad.
I came.
Issei heads to his seat, relieved. It's exactly 8 o'clock. The first homeroom bell has rung, so Fujini should be here in about 5 minutes. Phew. I'm a bit out of breath since we ran here from the AV room. Taking a deep breath, I head to my seat.
Yes, so noisy in the mornings, Emiya. I was wondering what you've been doing since quitting the club, but all you've been doing is helping out Kyoto. It's not my concern, but don't do anything to bring the club into disrepute, okay? You're pretty uncommitted after all.
Mato Shinji, a friend of mine from middle school, is standing in front of my seat. As you can tell from his last name, he's Sakura's brother, who's 1 year older than her. Yo, is the archery club doing well, Shinji?
Of course, there is no point in telling an outsider. It's been peaceful since a certain attention hog left. They'll do well in the next competition.
I see. Mitsuzuru must be working hard.
Huh? You're talking rubbish. The archery club is doing well because of me. You're just an outsider, Emiya, so you just embarrass yourself if you talk like you know about it.
I see. I'll be careful. But I won't have any concerns with the archery club since I don't have any business there. I put my bag on the desk and pull out the chair.
What's that about? You're saying you're not interested in my archery club?
I said business, not interest. It'd be weird to go there when I'm an outsider, right? But tell me if something comes up. I'll help if there's anything I can help with. You weren't good at fixing the bows and bowstrings, right?
Oh, thanks. I'll call you if there is any work to be done. Though I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, that's good. You're not captain material if you leave work that needs to be done. Don't give Fujimura-sensei too much trouble. She's scary when you piss her off.
Huh? Mind your own business. You're an outsider, so keep away from the dojo.
Shinji returns to his seat in his usual manner. He seems more interested in that, irritated than usual lately. Or today. Abla.
What a guy. How can he talk like that when he's the one who drove you out?
Oh, you were here, Issei?
What do you mean? You're so cold, saying that to a friend who's listening in out of concern?
Huh? Why would you do that? I'm not doing anything that should make you worry about me.
Idiot. Of course I'll worry about you. You're just sort of lose your temper easily. Some people would cheer if you beat Shinji up, but all the girls would condemn you. It's not good to let a friend go in that situation like that.
I see. You're right now that you mention it. Thanks, Issei. I don't think it'll be a problem, but I'm grateful for your concern.
Yes, well, as long as you understand. It's strange. You lose your temper easily, but you're tolerant of Mato.
Yeah, that's just his style. You get used to it if you hang around him for long enough time.
I see.
Yeah, if you understand, go back to your seat. Fujimura-sensei will fly in here any second now.
It's more like her to come floating in than flying in.
We have a new angel.
Cell, thank you for the
Sup,
resub.
nerd?
7 months, holy shit. How you doing, Cell? Hey. What's up, nerd? The homeroom bell rings. A homeroom teacher usually would come in 5 minutes early, but our homeroom teacher isn't like that. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? For class 2C, homeroom starts 1 minute after the bell rings. Right when we hear.
I'm late.
And Fujini runs into the classroom.
Alright, I made it. Good morning, everyone.
Rip. Wham. Fujini falls over with a terrible sound. She's fucking dead! The classroom is filled with silence, in contrast to the clamor from a second ago. A sudden change of atmosphere. Just as you expect from Fujini, her nickname of Human Jet Coaster isn't just for show. The fuck was that? But in reality, that really was a bad hit. Fujini is still on the ground, having hit her head on the platform.
She fucking dies every day.
I know, right? You can't see her expression with her head facing the ground, so it gives you a bad mental image. I don't know if that's a random student, but hey, front row, wake her up. One of the girls say that line. I don't know. I don't know who these are.
Hey, front row, wake her up.
Cheer, do you want to say the second line?
Someone say that second line. The second line's a girl.
Yeah.
First line was that random guy.
He made you one. Okay, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
You're different.
What? I don't want to. I'm scared she'll bite me if I go near her.
She's not a mimic or anything. She won't go that far.
Hey, if you're saying that, why don't you do it?
I'll pass. I'm not used to this.
Me neither. And why would you make a girl do it? A guy should do it.
The front row is getting noisy. As we're in the middle rows, we can't tell what sort of state Fujini is in. We can't tell, so we all stand up to look. Hey, she's not moving. Has she passed out? Someone asks. If so, the problem would be how to get her to the nurse's office. Everyone here is a warrior who had been with Fujini for the past year. They probably want to get out of the habit of taking their teacher to the nurse's office.
Fujimura-sensei, are you alright?
A brave female student calls out to her. Fujini doesn't even twitch. A sense of worry runs through the room. That was a bad fall. She hit her head right on the platform. You have to be invincible to come out of that without a scratch. How about getting her for our baseball club? Don't even joke about that. The day she's in charge of us, we'd get into the regionals.
Fujimura-sensei! Fujimura-sensei! It's no good. There's no response.
Hey, why don't you wake her up since you're in front of her? What? No, wait! If she's really dead, I'll be killed!
Things could get bad later if we leave her like that.
But no one wants to go near her. I guess it can't be helped. We'll have to do that. Alright. All of our hearts become one. Well, not Shinji and I, because we're too scared. 1, 2... Wake up, Tiger! Even though everyone said it at the same time, it's only as loud as a whisper. Oh, I yelled it. Oops. The tiger part is especially quiet. But still. A twitch. The silent Fujini reacts. Whoa, she moved? It's working, everyone. Alright, continue the punishment. Everyone must be stressed from the impending exams. Even though they shouldn't, they repeat Fujini's nickname while waving their arms. Wake up, Tiger! It's morning!
Sensei, you're a tiger! If you don't wake up!
Don't give up, Tiger! Stand up, Tiger! Yeah, wake up, Sensei! You'll be a true tiger! Tiger, tiger. I have no idea what's happening.
Sorry for laughing at the
They're
thing.
fine.
I better hear that guy exactly like that. That was fucking.
I don't know why I lost music and sound, so I cannot imitate it perfectly. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, don't call me a tiger.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but
Well,
this
guys,
is
we're dead.
hilarious.
Aurora of lightning.
We're
She
all gonna
stands-
die.
She stands bravely as if the fall she has done nothing at all.
What are you all doing? You can't stand up in the middle of the room. Come on, sit down, and I'll get started.
Fujini stands before everyone in her usual manner. It seems all the memories from the moment she entered the classroom have fled her head. Hey, it seems Tiger doesn't remember what happened. Lucky, we're really fortunate this morning. Well, I don't know if we can call it lucky. Everyone returns to their seats, chatting.
Huh? Did someone just make fun of me?
No, we didn't. Maybe you imagined it?
Alright, good. Then I'll start homeroom, so listen up.
Fujini starts homeroom slowly. She chats in between the announcements, so we don't get through it very fast.
So everyone, please note the curfew. It's at 6 o'clock, so people with club activities shouldn't stay too late either.
What? 6 o'clock? It's too early? Taiga-sensei, can't the athletic clubs be exempt?
Nope. And Goto-kun, please address your teacher as Fujimura-sensei. I'll get mad if you call me that again.
Alright, I'll be careful. Goto-kun sits down again, not showing any signs of listening to her. How stupid of him. Fujini gets mad when she says she will. It makes no difference that he's a student and she's a teacher. He doesn't realize that she just gave him a final warning.
Well, that's it for today's Homer. Let's meet again in English class in 3rd period, everyone.
Fujini leaves, waving her hand. She's the teacher responsible for Class 2C, Fujimura Taiga. Her nickname is Tiger. You might doubt it, but it really is her nickname. People like calling her so, since she has the name like Taiga, but Fujini herself hates the nickname. According to her, it's unfeminine. But she's that kind of person, so I think it's her own fault for having an unfeminine nickname.
We're starting class. Day monitor. The bows.
The teacher for the first period enters as Fujini exits. It's like this every morning as Fujini continues homeroom until the very last minute. And the classes end like every other day. There are many kinds of students, one that goes to clubs, one that hurries home, and the one that stays in the classroom for no reason. And it looks like I won't be in any of those categories.
Dish.
Sorry, Emiya. The rest of the repairs. Do you have time today?
Well, I do have plans, but it's not like I'm just playing around. After all, the main reason I quit the archery club is because I wanted to prioritize work. It's already been 5 years since father died, so I decided to start working to pay my living expenses. If you work a lot, there are some jobs that you just can't refuse. Today's an example. They're restocking inventory at work, and they asked me to come in, if I can, as any help is appreciated. But it's certainly not something I have to go to. They're probably just having people come in because they want to party after work. There are two options. I'm gonna go help out the student council. It's something I've started. I should finish the job I began this morning. I'll change my plans. We're finishing the job from this morning, right? Let's finish the repairs before exams start.
Thank you. Let's go and look at the patient in the art club then.
Alright. Oh, and clear the people out of the room, will you? I can't concentrate with people watching me.
Of course. I won't let them get in your way.
Issei quickly walks to the hallway, and I follow him out of the classroom in a hurry. The sun is already set when we leave the school building. The school gates are already closed. It's 7 o'clock and way past curfew. Thanks to Issei, we're not in trouble.
You helped me a lot today. I'll certainly make up for it. So tell me if you need anything.
Yeah, I'll let you know if something comes up. I don't think anything will, though. I didn't help him to get something in return, so there's nothing I want from Issei.
Jeez, I guess it's a problem. To be too good a person. It's helpful to have you around, but I can't stand it when other people use you for their liking. Helping others is a good thing, but you should be more picky about who you help. You should just help. You just help anyone who comes to ask you.
Huh? Am I that indiscriminate?
Yes, and that's just going to let heartless idiots use you as they wish. You're a busy man, so it must be okay for you to decline from time to time.
I can't really tell, but it seems like Issei's worried about me. I've been called helpful since I was in middle school, as I don't turn down requests for help and don't ask for anything in return. I guess Issei thinks that's dangerous, but I'm doing it just because I want to. It's not a problem as I decline things that think are beyond me.
It's not.
Oh, that's me, sorry. It's nothing for you to worry about, Issei. I know myself better than anyone. Besides, helping people is a good thing. It's not something a son of the owner of a temple should be trying to stop.
But I think you're going too far, and you might eventually overwhelm me.
I'll take your warning. See you tomorrow, then.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Issei leaves, looking discontented. Issei's house, Ryodu Temple, is up in the mountains, so naturally our routes home go in different directions. I walk through the moonlit town. Walking up the road, I notice that there aren't many people around. The time is around 7:30. There shouldn't be people around at this time, but there's no sign of anyone. Oh, there should be people around this time, but there's no sign of anyone. Oh yeah. There was some crime here in Miyama City a few days ago. A burglar murdered someone, I think. That must be why there's no one around and why the school curfew became 6 o'clock. Gas leak and murders, huh? It's been dangerous lately. No wonder there are fewer people walking around at night. It's getting too dangerous to let Sakura go home on her own. Sakura's house is in the residential area, on the other side of town. Starting tonight, I should walk her home. Huh? For a moment, I can't believe my eyes. There is someone on the road which I thought was empty. The person is standing above me, as if looking down at me. Without realizing it, I hold my breath. The silver-haired girl smiles and descends the hill without a sound. As she passes,
You'll die if you don't summon it soon, Oni-chan.
she says something strange. She called me Oni-chan, that's weird. I go up on the hill and reach my house. As the lights are on, Sakura and Fujini must be home already.
I came.
You may know. I smell dinner the moment I enter the living room. At the table are Sakura and Fujini in the middle of dinner. It seems the main dish tonight is chicken and cream, and Fujini, who loves white sauce, is in a good mood.
Welcome home, Senpai. We're sorry for starting without you.
Sorry I'm late. I wish I could have come home earlier.
No, you made it. Could you wait a bit? I'll get your dinner ready right away.
Yeah, alright. I'll go wash my hands, so make sure Fujini doesn't eat my food. I return to my room. It's a fairly empty room compared to the shed, but since I don't have any hobbies, I think it's quite decorated. Most of them are random things Fujini has left here, though. I wash my hands, change, and return to the living room to find my dinner ready. Itadakimasu!
I hope it's to your liking.
Sakura is terribly modest. Her cooking skills have vastly improved in the past year. She has me completely beaten at Western-style foods. I can barely beat her at Japanese foods. Neither of us have touched Chinese. I'm pleased my pupil is getting better, but it's kind of depressing when the teacher is defeated by the student. It's as good as I expected. Chicken becomes harder the longer you cook it, so it's juicier and tastier if you roast it before cooking it, even though it's tedious. That's done perfectly here. It's a master skill, forever beyond the clumsy Fujini.
How is it, Senpai? I think I did quite well today.
It's perfect! The sauce is great too. I guess you have me completely beat when it comes to Western food.
Yeah, I'm eating food is much better since Sakura-chan started cooking.
With that, Fujini, who had been preoccupied with her food, lifts up her head.
Oh, Shiro, a student mustn't come home this late.
It seems she's in a bad mood now that she's seen my face, even though she was happy because of dinner.
Jeez, I bet you were helping someone again. That's good, but at least come home early at times like this. I even told you it was dangerous in homeroom. I said it for your sake, you know?
Can't you tell me that at home instead of in homeroom?
You wouldn't listen if I told you here. It's more effective if I tell you at school.
Sensei, I think that's abusing your authority. You shouldn't mix work and private life.
No, it's not enough for Shiro unless I go that far. He's always on the losing side because he's the one helping everyone else. He should at least come straight home and relax sometimes. That idiot.
Hey, what do you mean by idiot? I'm not on the losing side if I help someone and they've already been, and they're already helped by it.
Man, I wonder if you got that from Kiritsugi-sen. I worry because you're like that.
I don't exactly know how she's worried, as she's energetically munching down her dinner.
Fujimura-sensei, from what you said, has Senpai been like this since he was small?
Yep, he's always been like that. He's the type that goes to help people in trouble. But he's not meddlesome, he's just a bit precautious.
Fujini laughs dangerously. Fujini, I'll get mad if you say too much. You too, Sakura. Don't ask such boring questions. I glare at them. Fujini clicks her tongue and backs down, but...
Fujimura-sensei, please continue.
Sakura is taking the lesson seriously.
And I shall. See, Shiro is a person who can't ignore someone in trouble. It's like helping the weak and defeating the strong. In the essay he wrote as a child, he said, "My dream is to become a superhero."
She's talking about things from so long ago. But it's all true, so I don't interrupt. Anyways, becoming a superhero is a goal I must not stray from, even now.
Senpai was a real kid.
Yeah, he was some kid. He would go and help girls being picked on by much older kids. And he'd do the chores around the house because Yotsugi-san wouldn't. Man, he was so cute and innocent back then, so why did he grow up so cricked?
Probably because of you. Kids think a lot when they see bad adults. Learn to make your own dinner before you say anything like that.
What?
Fujini grumbles. I thought she might drop her head and repent, but...
Oni-chan is sad. Sakura-chan, can I have another bowl?
Fujini asks for her third bowl. I think we'll call it there.
That face gets me every time.
Yeah. Save. Save. Yes. Perfect. And we'll find somebody to raid. Thank you all for joining us. I will be back on Monday with some Dead by Daylight. I don't have music up. Hold on. Let me change it up. There we go. But what do you guys think? There's a lot of story building and all that, but we're getting through it.
I like how we have the prologue where Ren's gonna die and then it jumps back in time. It's like all, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ren's
spoiler
fine.
alert, Chira's gonna kill Hime.
Yeah.
More insight than the anime.
True.
Yeah, a lot more than the anime I'm finding, which is good. I like it a lot.
I repeat a lot of words.
3 days in, I'm already losing.
Hey, you just got one shot. I'm about to die.
Nah, you didn't die.
You
I was gonna say,
protected me.
Dish hasn't died yet, technically.
He's not dead yet. He got
Yeah.
one shot though.
You got fucking murked though.
Hime, you've already used, you've already used 2 of your command seals, and like the war just started.
Yeah.
You got 1 left, and then you're fucked. And then if you lose your last one, you're done. So you can't even use your last one.
Let's go.
Alright, we're gonna go raid Mimi, who's doing a subathon donathon for 1 year on Twitch. They're playing VR chat. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, I forgot the raid message. God damn it.
Oh shit.
Bob did it right at the end.
I'm about to get murked.